Engine recalls, stop sales, and safety recalls, amongst other certification failures, has dragged Toyota's reputation through the mud this year so far. But we're not done yet. Toyota hasn't stopped the bleeding. Toyota subsidiary warned about Subcontract Act violations. Grab your snacks and drinks, and let's get into it. I got my popcorn ready, and everyone's just taking shots at Toyota right now. I'm just sharing what I see out there. And Toyota they're a huge company, and huge companies are run by people still, and they're going to have mistakes. There are going to be things that are going to sift through the cracks. And I think anytime you have a government at stake, you could say historical religions at stake that control a lot of power and money, or nowadays massive companies that control the landscape of Earth, you're going to have fraud. You're going to have things not done by the books. Okay. And those books are about this thick, a gajillion pages, and you need a whole army of lawyers to decipher them in order to run your business without getting in trouble. Every once in a while, you're going to get caught because it's essentially impossible to play by all the rule books for each country around the world. All right, so Toyota, here we go. A watchdog company says Toyota forced suppliers to store not in use tools for free. This one I find a bit funny. It's a bit comical. It seems like the thing to do right now is to take Toyota down. I think it's not that big of a deal, but it does suck for the people who are not getting compensated for helping Toyota out. So let's read into what's actually going on. The Japan Fair Trade Commission on Friday issued a cautionary advisory to a Toyota Motor subsidiary, which had unfair transactions with 94 subcontractors, including forcing some to store molds without compensation. But I'm wondering what the other unfair transactions are, other than just holding some of their machinery. So this is Toyota Customizing and Development, and Toyota Motor Corporation has over a 90% share. So it's a division of Toyota. They've violated the Japanese Subcontract Act, which is aimed at maintaining fair trade and protection for subcontractors. So Toyota Customizing and Development develops and sells car parts and manufactures specialized vehicles such as ambulances. For example, when I was in Japan, I saw all sorts of Hiace vans. We don't get Hiaces here, but they're converted, and even Nissan vans, I forget what they're called. The equivalent Nissan. Anyways, those can be converted into anything, right? A van is a blank template, and they convert them into ambulances over in Japan. It's pretty amazing. As well as fire vehicles and probably even police vehicles, right? Vans are everywhere in Japan in every single industry. But according to the commission, the company forced 49 subcontractors. All right. So we're talking about an additional, 45 that are not lumped into this group. All right. So we don't know what the other 45 subcontractors were that were not getting treated fairly by Toyota. But the 49, the majority of them, have been storing 664 molds and other items for free, not proceeding to subsequent transactions with them. So Big Brother Toyota is like, hey, little suppliers, you wouldn't be in business without us anyways. We order all your parts to keep your businesses going. And by the way, we have all this extra machinery that we don't have space for in our manufacturing facilities. So it looks like you might have some space in your parking lots or in a hangar somewhere or in a massive warehouse. How about you store our enormous machines and molds? We just don't have anywhere to put them. So can you just hold them for us? And they're like, okay, all right, well, we don't want to bite the hand that feeds situation. And so they're just like, okay, well, we'll take your molds. And they're like, that's right. And you'll keep supplying parts for us, right? Little suppliers. That's kind of how I see it. I kind of see Toyota being the bully in this situation, pushing around these smaller parts providers. Molds are what stamps the pieces, the individual pieces of the cars. And they are really big, they're very heavy, and they're super expensive. So Toyota's just not going to recycle these molds. They're being asked to be stored for potential future usage. These massive molds and other machines are just kind of sitting around collecting dust or rust at the suppliers. Kazuyuki Osawa, the commission's senior inspector in charge of the case, said the news conference on Friday, it seems to be a widespread trade practice in manufacturing. And he pointed out that managers at the Toyota subsidiary were not fully aware of the law. Of course, you're always going to say, oh, I didn't know how fast I was going. The same Toyota subsidiary forced 65 subcontractors to sustain losses by returning car parts, despite the fact that the company had not conducted initial quality inspections. And according to the commission, the law does not allow a company to return purchase products to a subcontractor without its quality inspection. Another way I'm looking at this, and I don't know if it's true or not, but if Toyota overordered too many parts and they sent those parts back to the supplier saying that they were faulty, but in actuality they weren't faulty, Toyota just had too many of them, and they're like, hey, buy these back from us, that it's not what we needed or wanted, or it wasn't working for us, or whatever it was. So they're sending the parts back without doing quality inspections, because if they pass quality inspection, the parts makers are like, we did what you asked us to, we made the parts up to spec and you ordered them, and Toyota's just sending them back. This isn't Amazon Prime where you can just send things back for literally any reason whatsoever. But this isn't as big of a deal as those other companies, which could include these 65 subcontractors. But the ones that were holding molds and other machinery, that's, I think, a bigger transgression. Here is only $340,000, and Toyota has repaid the subcontractors for this difference in returned parts. So it looks like Nidec has been warned in the past. It looks like Nissan also received an advisory in March when it had improperly reduced payments totaling over 3 billion yen to 36 subcontractors, but Nissan has completed the payment of the unpaid amounts, right? I mean, if they didn't, I'm sure the government would shut down Nissan in some way until they repaid their debts. And the commission statement pointed out that similar violations sometimes occur in the automotive manufacturing industry. I would say it happens all the time. Not only in Japan, it happens all throughout the world. In the United States, I guarantee it happens. In Europe, I guarantee it happens. In China, I guarantee it happens. It's just that it seems like the Japanese right now are sifting through these automakers, making sure they're doing things the right way. And we'll never know how much is still not going on legally behind the scenes. I mean, that's like the government. Can you imagine how much stuff the government is hiding from us, right? It's not a big deal to me in the end. I mean, I know that all these manufacturers are cheating in some way, shape, or form. There's just so many laws that they got to comply with. And maybe what started with, 80 years ago with these small suppliers holding molds, that sort of tradition can hold fast 80 years later, where, hey, we've always had our suppliers hold molds for us. It's always been a part of our, relationship, our partnership. Even that's like an old off the books business transaction, but apparently it's illegal, right? And is Toyota out of the woods? Have they stopped the bleeding on all this negative press around them? And the answer is, only time will tell. The twin-turbo V6 recall, though, we don't know when that fix is going to be in place, I don't think yet. And we don't know if more engines are going to be recalled in the future that will also affect the hybrid twin-turbo V6, which I honestly think that is coming. But we'll have to wait and see. But based off of the testimonies I'm hearing, we still need a fix for the Grand Highlander and the Lexus TX with the airbag, the side current airbag issue, and that could be in August is what we're hearing at the earliest. So time will tell. Thank you guys for watching. Toyota's not out of the woods, not by a long shot, but I think things are going to slow down for negative press with Toyota. If you want some positive press for Toyota, watch all my Camry reviews and videos for 2025 model year. I've had it all week. I'm going to do a couple more videos on it today. Unbelievably good for the money, regardless of if you get an LE all the way up to the XLE or XSE that's fully loaded. It provides so much luxury and refinement, and bang for your buck. It's just a fantastic vehicle. It's one of my favorite buys on the market right now. I gotta finally shut myself off. I'll see you guys in the comments as always. If you made it this far, appreciate you. Hit the like button and subscribe for more automotive news updates. Have a great day. Peace.